but at that time we were in the isolation cells, so and what we called the black site, which was very much a site for those that don't know, a site we don't know the address of. It's like where all the bad shit happens, and we were in a car sort of underground in this black site, and I never saw Aslin through the whole time until we went to a psychiatrist evaluation before the trial. That was the first time I saw him, but they told me that he'd been captured. And I never saw him at this place, but we had a couple of people turn up and feed us information and new news about a month after I was taken. The NGOs got captured. They come in with some good news, because for about 4 weeks after I was captured, I thought Ukraine might be suffering, because obviously they were making quite fast gains, the Russians at the time. These lovely boys came, looking like very Spetsnazed up, and one of them just came in and stabbed me in the leg. Hey, yeah, literally just and he went oops, and I was screaming in pain, and they pulled off my trousers and my t-shirts. They were looking for tattoos. Meanwhile, my leg was flapping, and then basically they took me to I'm sort of cutting it down a bit because it's gone on for ages, but they took me to another place, which was like a police station of some sorts, which then while I was bagged and hooded and bound, they took me to a like a shower unit, which I thought, I'm in for it here, because as soon as I saw the floor tiles and the shower tiles and the wet room, I just thought, that's it, I'm a dead man. And that's probably the most single scared I've ever been. They put my fingers up to paddles, started with my thumbs, and then just started to electrocute me for fun, go through all my stuff. I'd managed to ditch my phone before I was captured, which was quite good, because there was a pond I was just passing, and when they fired a warning shot, I was able to drop it in. I knew I was outnumbered straight away, so I ducked down behind this thing, dropped it in the pond, and lost my phone. But it meant they were quizzing me about where it was, because I still had the battery charger on me, which is a bit of a rookie mistake. So they're going, where's your phone? And I was going, I've lost it, I don't know where it is, and they were electrocuting me for that. Pretty much beating me after that. About 4 times they electrocuted me in total. Between my thumb and my little finger, they moved it as well, and put wet rags around my fingers. But then beat me probably about 20 minutes and tasered me as well. Some guy came in and gave me a mock execution as well, stuck a 9mm on the back of my head and told me that, he's going to kill me now, pushed me into the floor, for which I didn't make any sound because I knew it would be worse. And then he pistol whipped me and went, only joking. And I was thinking, all the time I could hear someone on the phone, because I speak a little Russian there, could hear someone on the phone saying, yeah, we're taking him, somebody's interested in him, he's someone of interest. And I was out the door within maybe what seemed like 30 minutes. I was out the door on the way to Donetsk, where I met, they sort of went to the black site, as we call it, where I was introduced to people there. So it did get a little easier after that, but it's the most single scariest point I've ever, anything I've ever done. It's like, you don't want to go through that again. So none of the questions had any sort of, there wasn't any relevance to the questions. It was just like, who are you? They knew who I was. They'd have my passport right in front of them. They were looking at me on social media, trying to track me down on there while they were electrocuting me. So it was, who are you? Bzz, and the power of that electric just went straight through you. Even with a sliced leg, I was still just standing up, not even feeling a leg. It's just immensely, immensely painful. The next morning, my legs just inflated to far bigger tthen they normally were. And then when I pulled my sort of thermals off, last remaining bits they didn't cut off, pulled my thermals off, I was actually bleeding through the capillaries on my leg, where they'd electrocuted me, and I was just bleeding from the leg through the pressure of that. So it was very, very painful, but my legs were like huge in the morning, and they sort of died down. But after that, the electrocution sort of died down. I needed once after on my ear, a little one on my ear, which wasn't so powerful as the first ones, but it's still enough to nip you and get you talking. But it wasn't as bad. But I think for me, somebody asked me yesterday, what was the worst bit? And I said, the starvation is the worst bit the pain is quite quick, and the interrogations are over fairly quickly, and you can recover from that. But starvation, I'm a big foodie, massive foodie. So, you know, I was just dreaming about food every minute of every day with everybody else. And if you've not had any food for, you know, proper food for 3-4 weeks, your brain starts playing tricks on you, and your taste buds start kicking out the same tastes, even though you've not had. If I thought about a kiwi, my taste buds would start thinking like I'm eating kiwi, you know, and I could get away. And after about 4 weeks, it sort of dies off. But starvation is the worst. You're constantly hungry, and you do anything to get food. It's just, for me, that's the worst.
Yeah. So after that site where the wet room where you're getting beaten, you go to the black site, as you call it. Is that like a KGB, like black site?
It's NGB is like the Donetsk. I think it's the Ministry of Internal Affairs, I believe. So they're pretty much like the FSB of Donetsk in a way. But then the FSB guys are far more professional. We didn't mess with them at all. Not that we messed with the MGB really, but we did. We knew who they were. The might be FSB. We knew who they were because they were there for like 2 or 3 weeks through that time where that information that's relevant that you have to get very quickly. They were there for that first week, maybe the second week. Then we never saw them again.
Right.
So we knew who they were. Those guys, they were quickly moving through, videoing, asking questions, beating, electrocution, gone. You know, those guys just went, and then we were left with what they introduced themselves to us as our social workers.